Today's video is about flywheel on our Lincoln 19, let's see, MEL 430, MEL 462. Here's a stock unit. I believe these are off of 1961 to 1965. They use this format. Not 100% sure, but I do know for all the years, I do know that these are stock units, okay? At least on 61 to 63. But I see this often. Now, whereas the new unit that people use, they advertise as 1966 to 68. They say you can also use this on the early years. I'll show you the difference between the two and potential issue. Let's just say you use this, you bought this one off eBay, you install it, and you crank the engine, and you hear some rubbing noise afterward. That's because the teeth here sits closer to the engine, and then it potentially rub up against the starter versus the stock unit. What we did was we measured the backside of the mounting surface here. This is where it mounts to, the backside is where it mounts to the engine, all right? Versus the backside of the teeth. You have a difference of about, these sits further of about 0.5 millimeter, whereas these, it sits on a negative side, negative 1.17, 1.2 millimeters, somewhere in that range. So you're looking at the difference of 1.2 plus 0.5. So you have almost a 2 millimeter difference between the stock unit and the new unit. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you can buy. We made these one of these spacers that you can put on the starter to push the starter back, so that it kind of matches the stock unit as far as the fitment wise. Or you can put washers on here. It's much more pain in the ass, and it doesn't give any any balance on this side, because the stock unit, because the way these things are mounted, 1, 2, 3 holes right there. So that's what it is. And then one last note for you guys is, when you install this, you want to go ahead and line up the holes here. These are your guides. On the torque converter, there are 2 bolts that sticks out. If you're using a used unit, when you mount it, make sure that these go into the guides before you start torquing down. If you don't, this is going to warp and it's going to start rubbing, making all kinds of noises. As you can see on the later years, they figure, hey, that was a problem, so they drill all 4 guide holes, so then you can't fuck it up anymore. Basically, idiot proof. If you use this one, definitely use a spacer or washers to push back. All right, good luck.